understand things better, I think. I said, it says, this is not normal. This is not a victory. This is C-PTSD, live and in color. This isn't, someone just complimented me under a post I made yesterday about the Walmart fiasco. This is about a flat tire where I couldn't get it fixed in time. They were taking too long. I started having a meltdown. I'm pacing around. I'm sweating. I'm getting upset. I'm talking under my breath. I am losing my mind. And if somebody hadn't engaged me the wrong way at that point, I very much just know I probably would have put my hands on them. It would have been ugly. Thank God it didn't happen. I said, God bless her. I'm proud of her growth in and out of this program. She's come a long way, but her comment stuck with me. Not in a bad way, but in a way that reminded me, this is exactly what I'm trying to explain to people. This isn't normal. She said it was a victory, a sign that I'm healing, that I'm learning to manage my anger and handle normal emotions like a healthy person. And again, I appreciate her heart. But this isn't normal. This isn't a typical emotional response. This isn't about patience or mood swings or having a short fuse. This is rage and hypervigilance on steroids. This is 40 years of trauma stacked on top of each other like bricks around my spine. This is years of brutal childhood abuse and forced fight training by my father, a man who more drill instructor than dad, 7 combat tours, PTSD that didn't come from one incident but a lifetime of war both at home and abroad. A mind that was trained to go from calm to kill mode in 0.2 seconds and to never let its guard down. A nervous system that is always scanning exits, always looking for threats, always preparing for death, even at a checked out line. It didn't happen by chance, but it sure as hell wasn't planned either. People think being disabled by PTSD is just about nightmares and flashbacks. They have no idea. I'm 100% permanent and total with the VA for one reason, because this is real, because this is serious, because it never stops. VA doesn't hand out those ratings like candy, and let's be clear, you could lose a leg and still not get it 100%. You have to lose 2 limbs. But me, I didn't lose a leg. I lost pieces of myself over and over. I lost peace, I lost safety, I lost the ability to regulate my own body and mind, and that doesn't grow back. My number one symptom, what haunts me more than anything else, is rage. Not anger, rage. Not irritation, combat mode ignition. This isn't, oops, I lost my temper. This is getting my face the wrong way, and I can feel my body prepping to fight for my life, even when I know I'm not in danger. This is decades of fight or flight, all stored up and detonating over things most people shrug off, because my brain doesn't have a shrug setting anymore. This is why I share, so when people say they're proud of how I handled something, I appreciate it, I do. And yes, I've grown. I've learned to pull back more often, to breathe, to survive, without someone else getting hurt. But I also need you to know that moment wasn't a little win. It was a fight with a war inside of me. The victory wasn't that I was a little mad and held it in. The victory was that I wanted to rip something apart and I didn't. It may sound violent, it may sound dangerous, and it is. And that's the point. I share this because someone out there is reading this who thinks they're broken beyond repair. Someone who's embarrassed that they can't handle life on life's terms. Someone who doesn't understand why a tire or a stranger or a minor inconvenience makes them feel like they're about to explode. You're not alone, and you're not crazy. You've just been at war for so long that you forgot what peace feels like. That's war with your own mind. That's not war like combat. Yeah. Walk with me. Don't judge me. If you see me struggle, don't just cheer that I didn't snap. Ask yourself why I got to that edge in the first place. Ask yourself why someone like me, a first sergeant, a Bronze Star with Valor recipient, 20-year soldier, a trauma survivor, has to fight to survive a trip to Walmart. Because the battlefield never really ends for some of us. I'm still here. I'm still walking forward, and sometimes that's the win. And it goes into my book. It just didn't happen. I wish I could call it a victory. I wish I could say Bruce made it not happen. Yeah. Bruce wasn't in control. Bruce walked outside and paced around the parking lot like a caged animal. Bruce kept staring at the people working at it. Bruce was walking inside the waiting area, talking to himself, cussing to himself, walking back out. Knowing people are looking at him and seeing him going, what is wrong with this guy? I was ready to go. Had the wrong person come up to me from, let's say, Walmart staff, say a manager or somebody working there, try to talk me down, or what's wrong, or why are you acting this way? I'd have completely lost it. Thank goodness nobody engaged me. Thank goodness everybody stayed away from me. Thank goodness I took a walk to the bathroom. I took a walk over here and a walk over there, and I did everything I could possibly do, not to control it, but to avoid it getting worse. Not because I was in control. I wasn't in control. I knew I wasn't in control. Then I was terrified that it was going to go to the next level. And thank God it didn't. Not because I've grown to a point of being able to handle it. just because it didn't. And that's the scary part, Angela. The scary part with this illness is I've come to a point where I realize I might very well have to isolate and be away from most people as much as possible in society for the rest of my life. That the chances of me being in an intimate relationship with a lady that I would love to have, because I'm so full of love and want to share that and want to have that again in my life, is not fair to that person. It's a selfish thing that I want, but I'm putting a person at risk to be with me. And they won't know it until they see it, like I talked about earlier. The fact that I might have to be I don't attend sporting events anymore. I don't participate in sports anymore. I cycle and I work out at the gym by myself, and I spend most of my time alone, and I walk on the beach a lot, and I sit on the beach by myself a lot. I do engage people at I'm shopping a line at a grocery store, or you got to talk to the cashier, or at the doctor's office, or the dental office, whatever, but very limited. I try to limit it, because if I don't, the wrong thing could happen, and it would be very bad for everybody involved, especially selfishly me, but also whoever else is involved.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine, a shopping trip for you would be stressful in the sense that if somebody set something on the conveyor a little too hard, it's that trigger, and you're on such high alert when you're in public. You don't want anyone behind you or outside of your peripheral vision, right?
I've gotten to where I know where I'm at emotionally, and
Right.
most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, to where I have to avoid. It's not the time for you to go to the grocery store, Bruce. Today you need to just go sit at the beach and chill out. It's not the time for you to go over here and do this. It's better time for you to go take a walk in the park. I've gotten to where, and I've learned to limit my life. I used to run a company. I ran a company building storage units up and down the East Coast. And I did that from 2021 time frame. I was using methamphetamine and everything else, but I ran that company very well before I got arrested, unrelated to my job. And I can't do that anymore. I found out that if I put myself in a position where I'm taking on a lot of responsibility, I'm building a storage unit, and there's things being delivered, and there's guys over here doing this and gals doing this, and there's things happening over here, and the owner's doing this, and my phone's ringing from the company, and all that's happening at once. It's too much for me. It's overload, and I ramp up, and then what I call them the goons. One of the guys that works for me, one of the goons does something wrong, which happens all the time. That's work. That's why you have supervisors. Instead of me correcting it and we go forward, Bruce goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and next thing you know, he's flipping out in this kid, where it just didn't warrant that behavior at all. So I can't do that anymore. I can't put myself in those type situations. I've had to limit. Thank goodness they have 100% permanent and total, and I get a check every month, and I have the benefits that I have. It allows me to not have to put myself in situations.
Right.
And that's why they do it. They allow me to. You don't live luxury. It's not a fortune. I get about $42,000 a year in paid benefits, plus all the medical and dental and everything else. Enough to live, not high on the hog, but not poverty. Yes, a livable wage. And allows me to not have to put myself in those situations where I become a threat to someone else and myself. I have to be mature enough not to do it. I have to be mature enough to not go do that, because more money, everybody wants more money. I'm a construction worker. I've built things and worked construction my whole life. I'm very good at it. I can go make good money working construction, but I have to be very careful. Come into your house to remodel your living room, no problem. That's great. I'll do a wonderful job. Come into your house to rebuild your house, now I need more people. Now there's a lot more things happening. Yeah, I'm going to make a lot more money, but I might flip out. And I have to back it off. And that's been the growth. The biggest growth is learning that, Angela. Me learning to back it off. Me learning to back me off. Yeah. It's the medication. Oh my goodness.
Take your time in solitude.
I talk to people about medication all the time now, especially in the program I'm in and everything else. It took 6 years. 6 years of different medications at different quantities, different times, different amounts, different combinations of medications to get where I'm at today. And it's not perfect. It's not the remedy, but it's the best combination that's working for me now. And it took me telling my doctor. I tell people all the time, you have to communicate with your doctor. You have to tell them how you feel. You have to tell them how you're thinking. You have to be very, very transparent about your emotions, your mental state to the doctors so they have some idea where to go with your medication. Because at the moment when they first medicate you, they are throwing something at a wall and seeing if it sticks. They don't know, and if they're honest, they'll tell you that. If they're worth a darn, they'll say, we don't know, we're going to try this and that. Some doctors are arrogant and go, here's your solution, you need this. I've ran into both. I had that program I was in for 28 days. I came out of there on one set of medication. It was in Virginia. I went to North Carolina, different state. They don't recognize prescriptions from a different state, so I had to go to a doctor in North Carolina to get re-prescribed medication. He looked at my list of medications and he said, that's ridiculous.